Here's some strengthening exercises and some stretches for your rotator cuff muscles. If you've been having any sort of pain in the front of your shoulder, think it might be related to rotator cuff, not really sure, you can give these a try, but they should all be very low level, gentle exercises. If your pain persists longer after trying all of these, then definitely reach out and let us know if you need to come into the clinic. This exercise is going to be a strengthening exercise for your external rotators, and so these are some of your rotator cuff muscles that allow you to bring your arm out to the side, such as when you're reaching for a door or a car handle. And so what you'll need for this exercise is a rolled up towel. It doesn't have to be taped up like this, but it can just be a small hand towel. And then you can try to grab either a small like 2 or 3 pound dumbbell, or even like a can of soup, water bottle, just something that's not super heavy but a little bit of weight to it. And so you're going to start lying on your side with your painful arm up on top. And then what we're going to do with this towel roll is put it right underneath your upper arm, so not super low down by your elbow, but kind of like right in the middle part, so it basically lies between your torso and your upper arm. And so what you'll do next, you'll grab the small little dumbbell and then you'll lay down, and then holding the dumbbell, you're gonna be moving your palm from your belly button up to the ceiling. And so important to note, only thing that is really moving is my forearm and hand. And so what I'm not doing is straightening my elbow at all, but instead my elbow stays bent at 90 degrees the entire time. And then my upper arm stays glued to my side. And then the only other thing to note is try not to make it too much of a rotation of your upper back, but really just having everything be relaxed and then go up towards the ceiling. So you're going to try to do this about 2 times, or 2 sets of 10, so a total of 20 times. So this is a strengthening exercise for some of your rotator cuff muscles, the external rotators, so the ability to move your arm out to the side. So what you're going to need for this exercise is a rolled up towel and then a band. Resistance band, it can be light to medium. If you're not having as much pain, you can go a little bit higher level resistance band, but if you're having a little bit more pain, choose a lighter one. So what we're gonna do is take the band and go up to a doorknob. And you're just gonna tie the end of the band to the doorknob, leaving the other end long. And then you'll take the towel roll, you'll put it under the arm that's more painful, between your upper arm and your torso, and then you're gonna hold the band with that arm. And so you either want your thumb up towards the ceiling, or you're gonna underhand grip it so your palm is facing up towards the ceiling. So you don't want it palm down. Keeping your elbow glued to your side, you're gonna slowly move your hand out away from your body, pulling on the resistance band. And so my elbow is staying at that 90-degree angle, and so I'm not straightening my elbow out to the side. And then I'm just trying to move my hand, but not move my body. And then my upper arm also is not rotating, it's staying right there. And so you should feel the muscles in the back of your shoulder blade working during this exercise. If you're having any pain, you might be trying too hard or using a too high of a level of resistance band. And so you're just gonna try to go nice and slow. Try to do 2 sets of 15 if you're able to, and then you can repeat on the other side. This stretch is called the sleeper stretch. And so what we're gonna be doing here is trying to improve your shoulder's ability to rotate inwards, called internal rotation. And so what happens whenever we're going inwards, we're also getting a stretch in the back of your shoulder joint called the posterior capsule. And so this is the area where all of the rotator cuff muscles are located. And so we're trying to stretch that area also to get more mobility in the shoulder and make it less pinching in the front. And so you're gonna start lying down on your side with your painful arm underneath. And so what's important here is your arm's gonna basically be in this position, but on the bed. And so when I lie down, I want this arm basically at a 90-degree angle, but I don't want my shoulder really hiked up in my ear. I want to keep the top of my shoulder down. And so then I'm laying basically directly on that arm. And so with my arm in this like 90 degree angle, then I'm gonna take my unaffected arm, so right on top, and I'm just gonna kind of lay my hand right over the other elbow, and then the forearms are lined up together. So now with the weight of the good arm, I'm slowly gonna start pulling the bad arm down with your hand getting closer to the table, and then coming back up, gently pulling down, just getting a nice stretch in the back of the shoulder, and then back up. So what you want to try to focus not to do is you're not like cranking on that arm, really yanking at all, but just a gentle stretch. So my arms were kind of in like a genie position, and then just gently rotating downwards. This shouldn't be super painful. It should just be like a gentle stretch, but you'll hold it 10 seconds and then do that 10 times on that side. This is a strengthening exercise for the rotator cuff muscles in a position called scaption. So it's not directly right in front of you and not to the side. It's kind of this angle right there. So like if you were to put your arms out in front of you, it's like a low V. And so for this exercise, we're gonna use either a resistance band or a light 2-pound dumbbell or can of soup. And so whichever you've got on you, I'll show first with the dumbbell, and then I can show you with the resistance band. And so with your painful arm, you're gonna have your thumb up towards the ceiling, holding the dumbbell. You're gonna start down by your pocket, and then you're gonna start to slowly move your arm up towards the side. And so the big important thing to note is that I'm not trying to hike my shoulder up as I lift, and instead I'm trying to think of this pulling down and back as I'm reaching up towards the ceiling. And so if you're having trouble trying to get this to lower down, instead of thinking of like lifting, you can think of reaching with your hand, and then that might help try to go up towards the ceiling without having everything else compensate. And this shouldn't be painful, just more of a strengthening exercise, potentially feeling it up at the top, maybe a little bit into the upper arm. If you don't have a dumbbell, but you have a TheraBand, resistance band, you can take one end and just step on it. And then same thing, you'd be holding the band in that hand and then just trying to go up towards the ceiling. This stretch is a single arm pec stretch, and so we're going to be trying to improve the flexibility in the front of your shoulder. And this is really important because basically where those rotator cuff tendons come through in the front, if your shoulder is really far forward like this, and then when you try to reach up and grab things, that's where those rotator cuff tendons can get pinched. And so with this stretch, we're going to be trying to improve the flexibility in those pec muscles and try to open up some of your space in your shoulder. And so you're gonna back up, go to a door frame. Your arm is gonna attempt to be in this 90-90 position. I'm gonna put my forearm on the inside part of the wall, and then having one of my feet in front, you're just slowly gonna try to start reaching forward with your body, keeping your forearm on the wall. And so what you should be feeling is a stretch just in the front of your shoulder. Important that you're not having any pain, but just more of a gentle stretch there. And then also basically what's going on is I'm trying to go forward with my body, but not leaning this way into the wall, because you won't get as much of a stretch there. So you're gonna hold for 30 seconds, and then you're gonna try to do this 3 times on that side.